We're less than a week away from the deadline to have a real ID in order to fly in the U.S. Now, this is something that a lot of folks have a lot of questions about. And this morning, we're joined by TSA Regional Spokesperson Mark Howell. Mark, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a real ID?
Yeah, so Real ID, the act was passed back in 2005 to raise the baseline standard for security on identification. So if you take a look at one of the old legacy licenses and put it up next to a Real ID, you'll see some pretty noticeable differences in terms of security features. And the bottom line behind that is we want to be sure that the person that's holding that ID is the person that's supposed to have that ID.
A really simple way to tell just by looking in the corner for that little star, right?
Yeah, if you have a Real ID, best way to check is just take your wallet or your purse out, take a look at the top right of your ID, and if it has a star on it, you're covered. If not, you're going to need to get in with your state licensing agency to get that taken care of.
Yeah, so that's as simple as calling the Georgia Department of Driver Services or wherever you're located and going in and making an appointment.
Yeah, it's very important to take a look at that website, Georgia DDS website, before you head in for your appointment. There are a number of things you need to bring in to make sure you can get through the process quickly. One thing we've heard from some folks is that they've been turned away, and that's unfortunate because it's eating up appointments for other people. So please, if you are going in to take care of your Real ID, make sure that you go to the Georgia DDS website first and that you have everything you need for that appointment.
All right, and my most important question is, what happens if you get to the airport and you don't have this Real ID?
So we want everybody to have a Real ID or another acceptable form of identification come May 7th. The most common of the other accepted forms is your U.S. passport. So you can use that for domestic travel as well if you don't have your Real ID yet. But if you come after May 7th without one, you should expect delays at security checkpoints. There may be some additional screening, and you will have to do some other form of identity verification. The only way you won't be able to fly is if we aren't able to verify your identity. But sometimes that process takes a little while, so we're urging passengers that don't have theirs done to get to the airport about 3 hours ahead of time. So it's best to really just go ahead and get it taken care of if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, very good advice there. And we've got a little bit of time left before we meet that deadline, so folks should go ahead and make those appointments if they haven't already.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to take care of it yet, you still have some time. One thing we've been saying is it's only a deadline May 7th if you're traveling May 7th. So your deadline really is essentially the next time you're traveling. So you do have a little bit more time to get it taken care of. And the good news is most Georgians already have it taken care of. They were one of the first states to introduce Real ID. So most folks in the state already have it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here this morning and answering our questions. Good advice for everybody listening.